Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ashad bin Muhammad Shihab, and I have two more partners, which is Fahmi and Shafiq. So our group would like to tell you about the financial ratio about Shangri-La Kuala Lumpur. So for the first one, I would like to tell you about the Shangri-La Kuala Lumpur's background. So, Shangri-La Kuala Lumpur is a renowned luxury hotel in the heart of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. They established in 1985. It is an iconic landmark with a prime location in the city centre. The hotel architecture blends traditional Malaysian design with contemporary aesthetic. It offers spacious room and suites with modern amenities and stunning city or garden view. Culinary excellence is a highlight with award-winning restaurant offering diverse cuisines. Shangri-La Kuala Lumpur is committed to sustainability and social responsibility. It actively engages in activities to minimize its environmental footprint and support the local community. Actually, they have three core activities, which is exceptional accommodation and exquisite dining experience, and the last one is spa and wellness. The strength is Shangri-La is a luxury and elegance, and then exceptional service. Uh, the third one is culinary excellence, and the weakness of the Shangri-La Kuala Lumpur, the price point, and then the second one is limited room options, and um, the last one is crowded public areas. The one of the liquidity ratio is current ratio. So, current ratio comparison, current ratio in 2022 is higher compared to 2021. It is higher up to 0.356 times in 2022 than previous current ratio in 2021. So, current ratio exceed 1.0 could indicate that Shangri-La is able to meet the short-term obligation. The second one is because their total assets are greater than total liabilities. However, in 2022, Shangri-La achieved higher current ratio, with indicate that they improve the perform better compared to the previous year current ratio in 2021. The net working capital of Shangri-La in 2022 is higher than the previous year net working capital. It's higher as much as RM167,000 in comparison. So, the evaluation can be made that those 2 years Shangri-La have enough money to pay current liabilities. Second one, it is because both years have positive net working capital. Then it can be said that financial management in Shangri-La is doing good and need to keep the same momentum over the next year. The asset ratio of Shangri-La in 2022 is greater than previous year. It is greater by as much as 0.185 times. The evaluation can be made that in the 2021 Shangri-La has insufficient cash. So, however, in 2022, Shangri-La are able to meet short-term obligation as its cash is greater than total liabilities. It shows that Shangri-La performance and sales has improved after the pandemic era. So, that's all from me, and I would like to pass it the next slide for me.
The inventory turnover ratio improved in 2022, indicating better management of inventory and higher sales. Shangri-La also reduced the average time to collect debt in 2022, indicating more efficient debt collection practices. The non-current asset turnover ratio increased in 2022, suggesting improved efficiency in using non-current assets to generate sales. The total assets turnover ratio improved in 2022, indicating better utilization of total assets to generate sales. Overall, Shangri-La showed improvements in all the evaluated efficiency ratios from 2021 to 2022. The inventory turnover ratio, average collection period, non-current assets turnover, and total asset turnover all demonstrated positive trends. These improvements suggest that Shangri-La effectively managed its assets and liabilities to maximize profitability and enhance operational efficiency during the evaluated period. Shangri-La showed improvements in its leverage ratios in terms of lower debt ratios and debt to equity ratios. These improvements indicate a reduced reliance on borrowed funds on a stronger financial positions. However, the decrease in the tied ratio suggests that Shangri-La may need to focus on increasing its earnings to ensure it can meet its interest expenses comfortably. It is important for the company to carefully manage its debt levels and maintain a sustainable financial structure to mitigate financial risks and attract investors.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Syafiq bin Muhammad Manan. So in my part, I will explain on the profitability ratios for Shangri-La Kuala Lumpur, and the first ratio is the net profit margin. To calculate net profit margin, we can divide net income available to common shares with sales. So in 2021, the net profit margin is equal to 15.54%. Meanwhile, in 2022 equals to 5.04%. Shangri-La net profit margin in the year 2032 is lower compared to the previous year. The net profit margin is lower by as much as 10.5%. It shows that Shangri-La net profit has decreased over the year, and it should be amended to make the net profit margin rise again. This happened maybe because of the insufficient method of converting sales into actual profit. A declining net profit margin means that Shangri-La is making less money per ringgit of sales. Next, we're going to look into the operating profit margin. Operating profit margin can be calculated when we divide EBIT, or earning before interest and taxes, with sales. In 2021, the operating profit margin is equal to 31.5%. Meanwhile, in 2022, the operating profit margin is equal to 11.3%. The operating profit margin of Shangri-La in 2022 is slightly lower compared to the previous year. The margin goes lower as much as 20.2%. It shows that Shangri-La is having issues with generating actual profit from sales compared to the previous year. Shangri-La need to reconstruct how they convert the sales into actual profit better in the upcoming year. The higher the operating profit margin is, the better for the company itself. Now we're going to look at the gross profit margin. Gross profit margin can be calculated when we divide gross profit with sales. In 2021, the gross profit margin is equal to 0.4444. Meanwhile, in 2022, gross profit margin is equal to 0.3831. Shangri-La gross profit margin in 2022 is slightly lower compared to the previous year. The margin was lower by as much as 0.013 cent. The calculation above shows that for every RM1 ringgit sales that Shangri-La made, the company is making about roughly 40 cent gross profit in 2022. The gross profit in the year of 2022 is lower compared to the previous year. This probably happens because in 2021, the company is not efficient in managing their assets to convert into actual profit. Now we're going to look into the return on asset. Return on asset can be calculated when the net income available to common shares divide with total assets. So in 2021, the return on asset is equal to 22.61%. Meanwhile, in 2032, the return on asset is equal to 8.16%. The return on assets for Shangri-La in 2032 is lower compared to the previous year. The differences between these 2 years is huge at 14.45%. The higher the return on asset is, the better for the company. Therefore, Shangri-La return on asset is in 2022 is collapsing against the previous year. Companies with a lower return on asset are inefficient in using resources to generate profits. The way to improve the return on asset is by monitoring the asset expenses monthly, by managing the level of inventory production so that it can reduce the inventory cost. Last but not least, we can look into the return on equity, where the net income available to common shares will be divided with common equity. In 2021, the return on equity is equal to 47%, meanwhile in 2022, the return on equity is equal to 12.33%. Shangri-La return on equity in 2022 is lower compared to the previous year. The ratio has decreased down to 12.33% from 47%, making the difference of 34.67%. The ability for Shangri-La to generate profits from common equity in the year 2022 is lower. Therefore, return on equity can be increased by using more financial leverage. Shangri-La can finance themselves with debt and equity capital. Now it is time for our group to conclude our presentation. Overall, Shangri-La Kuala Lumpur is doing better after the pandemic control order lifted. According to the calculated liquidity ratios, efficiency ratios, and leverage ratios, the performance of Shangri-La is increasing. However, except for one aspect, Shangri-La is still not showing an improvement in terms of its profitability ratios. They might need a few more years to get into the big bag. Overall, in summary, Shangri-La's performance in 2022 exhibited a decline in profitability and efficiency compared to the previous year. Factors that contribute to this decline may include insufficient conversion of sales into actual profit, ineffective cost management, and suboptimal utilization of assets. To improve its financial performance, Shangri-La should focus on addressing these issues by implementing strategies such as better cost control, sales optimization, and improved asset management. Shangri-La also can enhance the management of costs, improvement on sales and revenue generation, and also enhance the pricing strategies to overcome the issues stated. By implementing these recommendations, Shangri-La can address its weakness and work towards improving its financial performance. Giving 1 or 2 more years, all the ratios will show positive trends in its pattern, as they are doing great in each aspect except for profitability ratio aspect. Thus, it is not so bad, and we can see the lights that come with it. That's all from us. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.